Welcome back to the Void Compass. Today, I want to bring us back to some basics, namely one specific basic, which is feeling whatever is happening in your body in this present moment. There's so much talk about all kinds of spiritual complexities, esoteric procedures, destinations you have to reach, things you need to overcome. I want to take us back to these basics. Whatever you're feeling in your body right now in this present moment. Why is that important? Because the processing and transmuting of whatever you're feeling in your body dictates and almost bottlenecks your progress on your journey. So what does this mean? Whenever you're sat somewhere, if I tell you, go ahead, get rid of your phone, put the laptop away, have no people around you, be alone in your room, sit down with yourself, and just remain very still. What you will notice at first is, after a few brief moments of silence, you will notice a major uptick in mental activity. Your mind will start thinking a lot. It'll be about 6 to 8 to maybe even 10 ricocheting thoughts that are going pew, 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 bouncing around your head. Pains, resultant desires, strategies to get what the mind wants. Over and over again, in quick succession, almost nonsensically. The result of this is you will start noticing that you become uneasy. This general sense of anxiety, not feeling quite so well, will start to surface in your body, be felt as a certain tension. It's unsettling. As a result, you might find your physical behavior might shift a little bit. From seated or lying down completely still, you will start noticing you start to shift. You start writhing a little bit, becomes uncomfortable. You'll also notice that your breathing pattern might change. From a deeper breathing pattern, fully filling the abdomen and the stomach area, you will notice your breath start to become way more shallow, further up in your chest. Quicker breaths, not as deep, avoiding the painful spots in your body. What does this tell us? This becomes an issue, because that means whenever we are deeply associated with our mind and what it is thinking and what it is planning and what it is feeling, our bodies don't feel like a very safe destination for our consciousness to reside in. If you want to align with your soul, because this is what this whole journey is about, your soul has to be able to inhabit your body fully, every part of it. If it is not a safe place for you and your consciousness to reside in, you won't be able to get that alignment with the soul, because it won't feel like a safe place for soul to reside. This is why it is extremely important to feel what is happening in your body, to be able to transmute it, to be able to release it, and create that space within which soul can reside. This entire process is about that. Remember, you are in a bespoke experience. You're in a self-contained universe. Everything that is happening around you, everyone you are interacting with, you are seeing and interacting with a version of reality that is catered just to you. And life will always put you in positions and in situations that will get you to feel what it needs you to feel in that moment. Nothing is a mistake. There is an inherent need from life and this experience for you to pass through a gamut and a large spectrum of emotional materials, depending on whatever your life theme is. It could be heartbreak. It could be feeling destitute. It could be feeling rejection. It could be feeling deep grief. It could be feeling fear. It could be feeling ecstasy, joy, a deep sense of love and peace. But that's a spectrum. And you need to pass through that spectrum, because there are certain emotions that no longer are congruent with where you are at in your journey, that need to be transmuted and released. So rather than running around and wondering how you can transcend this and overcome that and reach this destination or accomplish that, let's bring it back to basics. For starters, and just feel what we are feeling in our body in this present moment. That is one of the most important things you can do at any given point during your day, is to stop what you're doing. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself kindly, how are you feeling right now? Are you okay? Is everything all right? Wait for an answer. You might get an answer. It might feel like a certain uneasiness. Ask yourself why. Put your hand on the area that feels uncomfortable. Why are you feeling that way? Tell me. Share your secrets with me. Why do you feel this way? As you would talking to a child. Allow that part of you to open up and speak. Allow it to be safe enough for that part of you to open up and speak to you and share with you. I feel afraid. I feel so scared right now about this particular situation. I don't know what to do about it. I feel so scared it's never going to change. And I'm going to be stuck here forever. Allow that emotion to come up. Watch it come up. Feel it fully. Don't hold back. Don't push it away. Don't ask it to go away. Don't ask it to change. You do not change your emotional states. They transmute. When you shine the light of your consciousness, your awareness, your love, when you're embodying that soul consciousness, that is when you can transmute that emotional material, whatever it is, no matter how dense it feels, no matter how endless it feels, that pit inside you that you feel, I can't even see the bottom of this. I'm looking down and I don't even know how deep this goes. I'm never going to see the bottom of this. It's always going to be this way. Your job is simply to shine that penetrating light of your consciousness, that loving light, that high frequency light, into that dark and say, hey, it's okay for you to express yourself. It's okay for you to come up. This is how you transmute. You don't slap a veneer of positivity on top of it. You don't do that. You don't play a role. I've spoken about this before. You don't play this role of this. Everything's great, everything's fine, love and light. You don't need to do that in the hope that the gods are going to throw some candy to you because you've been a good boy or good girl. You stop and you admit exactly how you're feeling. This is how you transmute. And you can't ignore it. Life won't let you. Remember, it's a bespoke experience. It's going to keep putting you back in places, in situations, and in interactions with others that are going to get you to finally admit how you're feeling. So why wait? Why not do it now? Why not stop whatever you're doing and take a real check, a real sit-rep of where you're at and how you're feeling? That's the transmutation process. Again, you need to make your physical vessel a safe place for your consciousness to reside. How can you ask yourself to be present when it feels so uncomfortable to be present? Why do we stay so wrapped up in mind? Why do we love distractions as much as we love them? Why do we run to our phone at every possible opportunity when we're feeling uncomfortable? Because it becomes so intolerable to feel the sheer magnitude of emotional material that we can contain within our physical vessels. This is why it's important to set aside time in the day. Call it time with soul, call it whatever you want, but prioritize it. Sit with it. You want to call that meditation? Call it meditation. Meditation isn't just one thing. It's not just, dissociate from my thoughts. That's amazing, because then you gain perspective. You know what you are and what mind is. You know that you're soul awareness. You're the observer watching that. But we're not talking about simply avoiding all of that emotional material and saying, no, nothing to see here, folks. No. We're taking that same perspective that you've gained during your meditation, and we're shining that light onto the emotional material that remains ignored and unattended to. Like an extremely sore and hurt and rejected and abandoned inner child that is vying for your attention. Why would you continue to ignore it? Bring that love in. This is part of self-love. This is one element of it. Saying I love you is amazing. I do that every day. I will notice certain things throughout the day. I will notice myself as an observer. And I'll just say, I love you so much. And I will feel into that when I say it. But not just when I'm feeling good. Not just when I'm feeling peaceful. What about when I'm not? What about when I'm oscillating into a state of mental fear? What about when I'm uncomfortable? What about when I'm lonely? What then? Hand away from heart? I don't love this. I can't process this. Let me distract myself. No. I love you just the same, whatever state you're in, because love, and my love for you, is unconditional. And that means you're bringing that loving consciousness into all these areas of your body that feel unattended to. That is gonna need to come up. This is part of this life experience. It is part of everyone's life theme. Yes, our themes vary. We all deal with different things. We have different soul blueprints. But one unavoidable thing, one contract you have with life is you are gonna feel. And the feeling isn't there to torture you. It is there because it is part of your job in this lifetime to transmute darkness into light, a lack of awareness into an abundance of awareness. This is why this is so important. So sit with yourself. Whatever it is, whatever journey you're on, that is an ability and a right that you have at any given moment. Nobody can take that away from you. I don't care where you're at in this life. I don't care whether you have a job or don't, you have a partner or you don't, you're physically well or you're physically unwell. As long as you're drawing breath and you can hear the words that I'm telling you, it is your birthright to occupy your body fully. This is your sacred space. This is you bringing everything back to you. Bringing that love inward. Remember that the outside world is just a reflection of your inner state of being. This is why it is so important to transmute whatever is happening in the internal world. before you worry about what's happening out there. Your internal world is always going to come first. So spend time with it. Get to know who you are. Get to know what hurts you. Get to know how to talk to yourself, how to love yourself, how to treat yourself. It's like developing a relationship with someone. And suddenly you will feel less of a reliance on the outside world to validate, to love, to take care of you, because you're doing that for yourself. And most of our attempts to gain that from the outside world are simply misdirected. It's because we've never been taught to do that for ourselves. We've never been taught that, hey, this is actually your responsibility to sit with yourself and feel your emotions, to not ignore them, and to learn how to take care of yourself the way that you would want that perfect parent or perfect partner to do for you. That's always going to be number one. So that's my message for you today. Feel. Allow yourself to feel. Don't hide away from it. And if you need to surface a lot of emotional material, do it. If you need to scream and shout, do it. If you need to cry endlessly, do it. Do it. But while you're doing it, and while you're crying, and when you're face flat on your bed or on the floor, put your arms around yourself, hold yourself. You don't even have to say a word. That's your consciousness cradling the suffering mind and saying, hey, I'm here for you and I'm not going anywhere, and I don't need you to be any different than you are right now. You're perfect. You're brave. And I love you just as much as you would be, or just as much as I would if you were completely happy. Because my love for you is unconditional. It is important to be that loving, that careful with yourself. Always make that your priority. I'm going to leave it there. I will see you next time on The Void Compass with more. Take care for now and love yourself.